Welcome everyone to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. ISKCON stands for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which is the original consciousness of all living beings. And our founder and Acharya, means the one who taught us how to do all this, is His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who's present here in his transcendental form on this seat called the Vaisesika. And today is a special day. It's what we call an appearance day of one of Krishna's most famous avatars. We say avatar because it has a very special meaning. And if you'll notice this microphone, Ramananda, it's hardly perceptible until you look. Bad. It may need a little tighten. The very concept of an avatara is that there's a benevolence to the world, and that benevolence comes from our original source, Krishna or God. God's a person and has unlimited compassion and concern for all living beings. And therefore, avatar means he makes an arrangement to come down to the level of humans, what to speak of animals, plants, bugs, to give an opportunity for that eternal living being who is suited for the spiritual world to be attracted to him. I'll tell you how he's doing. Looks very good. Thank you. Avatara means one comes from a higher position to a lower position with the idea that he'll help us to ascend to a higher position, which is our natural position. When I say higher and lower, there is a higher energy, the spiritual world, and a lower energy, the material world. When a spark emanates from a fire and lands in a moist place, it tends to be extinguished. And coming to the material world as sparks of the Supreme, we tend to get covered by the very boggy-like energy of the material nature. It's understandable that the sun is all-powerful and is never covered. However, the sun rays, when they descend to the earth, can be covered by clouds and seemingly separated from the sun itself. Today is the appearance day of the avatar Advaita Acharya. And he's one of the expansions of Krishna, who's said to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's the origin of all avatars and of all of us. In fact, we're part of Krishna. In the Gita, Krishna says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manakshastan Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati. That although we're in quality just like Krishna, we come under the control of the material nature somehow or other, and then become controlled by it. And this mostly takes place, manakshastan indriyani, through our involvement with the mind and the six senses. The mind is also a sense. It's called the sense within. So Krishna consciousness is the simple process, albeit not easy, in the beginning stages especially, of reawakening our original consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness, or our awareness that we are part of Krishna. But it's even more nuanced than that, because as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Krishna himself, and I know I'm unloading a lot on you right now in succession, but who comes as a devotee to teach the process of Krishna consciousness, gives us a philosophical viewpoint to understand our position, which is that we're simultaneously one with and different from Krishna. This philosophy has a name, Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva. And that means that just like a sun ray, which is the sun, but it's also not the sun, it's part of the sun, we are similarly Krishna, but not Krishna, because we're part of Krishna. And we have a relationship with him. So the avatars, like Advaita Acharya, come to help us re-anchor ourselves to Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's full of bliss. Advaita Acharya is part of an entourage that Lord Chaitanya brought with him to the material world to enact his pastimes. On the altar, we have a picture on the far left of the Panchatattva, which rolls off my tongue, but if we describe who the Panchatattva are, they are all combined Krishna, but also they're in different forms to show the relationship that we all have with Krishna. Because bliss or happiness comes from our relationship with Krishna. So the Panchatattva in succession, respectively, starts with Lord Chaitanya, who's the combination of Radha and Krishna. And then there's Nityananda, who's Balaram. And when Krishna expands, his first expansion is Balaram, but he appears in Lord Chaitanya's time as Lord Nityananda. Then Advaita. Advaita is Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is God proper, because he's the one who oversees the creation of the material nature, the material world. And then we have Gadadhar. Gadadhar is just like Srimati Radharani, the energy of Krishna for his enjoyment. And then Srivas is a soul, or a tiny living entity who's a pure devotee. So as presented in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, these five together are called the Panchatattva, the five truths of God. And they especially came to show the method for the present age for self-realization, for developing Krishna consciousness, which is called Sankirtan. So one amongst them, Sri Advaita. Just by his very name, we can understand what it means, or at least we can talk about it. And that is that he's non-different. Advaita means there's no difference between him and Krishna. And his function is to create the material world. The creation of the material world is one of the pastimes or leelas of God. It's called the Shrishti Leela. Shristi stiti pralayasarana shaktireka chayeva yasya vanani bibarti durga Ichana rupamapi yasya chitestate sa govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Lord Brahma says in the Brahma Samhita that there are various phases of this universe, and they're all overseen by the Supreme and his different representatives for the creation of the world, Srishti, Pralaya, which means the destruction of the universe, and maintenance, Sthiti, the various forms or expansions of the Lord manifest the world, maintain it, and then destroy it. And with the creation of the material world, the tiny sparks of consciousness that come from Krishna, who are mixed up with the lower energy of the material world, come back into the material realm as the material world's created, and they begin again a cycle of samsara, or taking on different bodies in this material nature again and again. And the objective of Advaita Acharya, who's part of that process of creating the material world, is to give an opportunity to the souls to regain their original consciousness and go back to the spiritual world. So Advaita Acharya is that creator of the material world, and he understands the plight of the living beings within the material world. And therefore he's known as Acharya. He comes to teach the process of devotional service. There's a place in Mayapur, which is the appearance place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu interacted with Advaita Acharya, who is his senior. In fact, Advaita Acharya was the godbrother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, Srila Ishvarapuri. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was young in comparison to Advaita Acharya. He considered him to be his superior because he was the godbrother of his spiritual master. And as a young person and as a devotee, he used to offer deep respects to Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya, on the other hand, was aware of Nimai Pandits and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ontological position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore considered Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be his superior. And he disliked being respected by him. Advaita Acharya disliked being respected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's a place that you can visit in Mayapur, two places in fact. There's a home where Advaita Acharya lived near Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace, and a little further away, by about a 40-minute drive, is a place called Shantipur, where Advaita Acharya performed many of his pastimes, the most important of which I will talk about in just 1 minute, or less than a minute. Shantipur is a beautiful place, as you might guess from the title. Shanti means peace. Pur means town, peaceful town. Except for the modern invention of Indian speaker systems, which my friend Bhuvaneshwar Prabhu once said, when you get a powerful speaker system in India, you turn up the volume to the maximum, and then you break off the knob. And then there's only an on-off switch. So sometimes Shantipur is not Shanti or peaceful. It's so loud. But it's very beautiful there. And we usually go there almost always when we're in Mayapur to visit. And there's a deity of Advaita Acharya there. And there's also a little shrine which talks about how he had taken initiation from Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri. And also, most importantly and relevant to our movement and us all sitting here, is that Advaita Acharya had conceived of a method for starting a mass movement that would spread all over the world to give everyone an opportunity to take up the Yuga Dharma, or the prescribed process for the age, by which everyone, including all the human beings, and hopefully as many animals as possible, plants, bugs, germs, could be touched by the transcendental vibration from the spiritual world, and thus come eventually to their pure consciousness and go back home from the world of birth and death to the eternal world of the spiritual world. Eternal realm of the spiritual world sounds better. And how did he do it? Well, he did it in such a way, because he's called Acharya, one who teaches by example, so that we could also do it too. And so anybody who wants to attain very quickly the perfection of life can follow this technique given by Advaita Acharya, whose appearance day is today. But I would have to call for a vote for those of you who would like to hear which method he used, because we have a democracy here. And we have one vote in the back, and that's all we have so far. We don't yet have a quorum. There are a few people who didn't raise their hand, and I would like to invite you to cover your ears as I tell everybody else who voted yes. His method was prayer. Our body is an energy system. It's designed for us to channel different energies. In fact, we're channeling some energies right now through our eyes. Sophisticated instrument through which we can take light that is touching various objects and then interpret it and see forms and shapes. The ear, we can take in information, it's energy coming through. But most importantly, the human body has a design specifically to channel energy from the spiritual realm. And there's a means to do that. We can connect directly from this world to the spiritual world. There are scientists, even now, at this very moment, who are working on a huge project to connect to extraterrestrial life. A scientist named Avi Loeb takes millions and millions of dollars every year in grants. He's created a way to put messages out to the universe and a way to try to receive the messages that might come back from intelligent life from other planets. But we already have it built in. You don't need a grant to get some technology. The human body is a technology unto itself, which is meant specifically to make a connection from this realm to the spiritual realm. As much as a smartphone is a device meant to catch information from various places and then present it to us. So that's what the human body is built for. It's described in various ways. Labvam sadulamadam sambhavante manusha martanam anityam apihadira. It's described in the Vedas that it's more rare than the iPhone 17. Labvam sadurlabam, which means extremely, extremely rare and hard to get. And I don't think the iPhone 17 is that hard to get. But human form, if you get it, you're really lucky. Because now you can put up unfold the technology that you've been given along with this body to make a direct connection, not just in a general way to the spiritual world, but directly to the origin of everyone and everything. Every individual here, you already have the technology built in, so you can make that connection. You can even do it now or tonight, or if you want to wait till tomorrow morning, that's okay too. So how does it work? Well, you have to put up your antenna. Would you like to do that now, or is this scaring? Am I scaring anybody? Okay, then please observe how I do it, and then please, for those who wish to try it, follow in putting your antenna up. Now, if you hold your two hands together like this, the human hands are most efficiently placed like this, and then have them touching your heart. And then you have to turn on the mechanism by becoming aware of your intention to connect to your original divine source, Krishna. You can do that in various ways. For instance, bringing our consciousness to a needy state. As a great saint, Kunti Devi, had said, make yourself a kinchana, which means realize I am helpless. I have no shelter in this world. And then make the prayer full statement, oh my Lord Krishna, please help me. There are others like Devahuti who developed this technique of prayer, or at least the foundation for it, so that it was very powerful, by saying, enough's enough. I've had it with my unruly senses. I'm not going to take it anymore, and therefore I'm giving myself over to Krishna to be the master of my senses. In whatever way you can find your very strong intention, you hold your hands like this, and when you pray very deeply, then you'll feel a direct connection from Krishna in the spiritual world to your heart. And Advaita Acharya taught this method. He was very successful, and I'll tell you how successful he was in a minute. But it comes with a special mantra that you can say when you've found your intention. And by repeating this mantra, you'll find your connection at hand. So I'll say it, and please repeat 2 words at a time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. These are names of God, but they're written in a prayerful form. Let's put our hands down just for a second. They're written in evocative form so that you can express your heart as if you're just calling out and saying to Krishna, I need help. Please engage me in your service. And Advaita Acharya showed how powerful this was. He added one more ingredient. And whether you can get this ingredient or not here in Silicon Valley, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know if you can get it or not. He found a verse in the ancient scriptures that said if you can get some tulsi leaf and a little water from the Ganges, and you put them together, and as you start your prayer, you offer these to Krishna, and then put your hands together so they're touching your heart, and this is your antenna straight to the spiritual world. Offer the tulsi leaves, the Ganges water. So you can just try it now. You can meditate that you have a nice bowl of pure Ganges water right to your left, and you have a little clump of beautiful tulsi leaves with some flowers on them on your right. Close your eyes. Take some of the water from the pot with Ganges water and put a few tulsi leaves in it in your palm. And then you can hold your palm out in meditation and now say the mantra as if you're offering the Ganges water and tulsi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And just pour it out as an offering to Krishna. So that's what Advaita Acharya did to call Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he had this idea that people need some intervention. As they had completely forgotten about the goal of life. And they were going on as if oblivious to the purpose of life. So in his voice, Krishna could hear the intention that he wanted to benefit everybody in the world. So you can add that in your prayers. That when you chant the mantra, and if you want to offer in meditation some tulsi leaves and Ganges water, and you think, how can I do the greatest good to all living beings in the world? After all, people are experiencing a little anxiety these days. I don't even know if it's these days. I think it's since the beginning of creation. But there are gradations of pressure that we feel in this world due to miscommunications and social interactions that seem to have gone awry. And what to speak of people suffering, because it's a natural world of suffering. The first time I got a Back to Godhead magazine, I read this phrase in it that explained a lot. It said this world that we live in, the whole universe in fact, is called Mrityu Loka. And when I inquired a little further what that meant, it says the world of death. So that's ominous. And it's ominous for all living beings, whether you're a deer or a butterfly or a human. There's this impending sense of threat to death stalking us. So we can add that into our prayer also, is Krishna, please save me. And this is one of the points that Krishna makes in the Bhagavad Gita. And there's a picture. If you look at the Bhagavad Gita as it is and you go through the picture section, have you ever done that? I used to do it all the time. In fact, when I first got these books written by my spiritual master, I'd spend hours poring over the pictures and just looking at them again and again. And one of the pictures shows a devotee who's floating in an ocean and putting his hand up, and Krishna coming down on Garuda to pick him up out of the ocean. And it's in relationship to Krishna's statement that I rescue my sincere devotee from the ocean of birth and death. So this very important technique that I'm describing was demonstrated by Advaita Acharya. He showed us that you don't need much except your own sincerity and the pinpointing of your intention. That's most important. And if we call out with great intensity to Krishna at any time, and this includes people who don't have an idea of who Krishna is. Like Gajendra, when he first started praying, he was an elephant. And he didn't know who he was calling out to. He had no sophistication in mantras, because I don't know how well an elephant can enunciate anything, what to speak of Sanskrit. But he was very successful because he felt desperate. So if we become aware of our situation in this world, which we tend to deny or sublimate, because it's not very convenient to think about while you're so busy doing other things, is it? That at one point I'll be challenged, like Gajendra was, that he felt, I can't escape death now. It's inevitable. So he called out to Krishna. Advaitacharya felt that all the time, and he applied it to this prayer that please save everybody in this world. And that is the intention of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or rather I should say it in a more personal way. That was the intention of the founder of the Krishna Consciousness movement. And you'd be interested to know that before A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada came to the Western countries with the idea of giving everyone an opportunity to receive this powerful method of connecting with God, he went to Shantipur. He went to that very place where Advaita Acharya had done his prayers. And he sat there and he prayed. And how do we know this? It's because the superintendent of that temple had come and greeted him there and asked him who he was and what his mission was. And Prabhupada had explained to him that his guru, his spiritual master, had given him an impossible task. And that was to come to the Western world to spread Krishna consciousness. And at this point, he had no resources, except for some connections through which he got a free passage on a boat. But he applied the same method. He went to the place of Advaita Acharya, and he sat and prayed very intensely that he could be successful. In fact, that person who met him there described how he had tears coming from his eyes. His prayers were so intense. It's a universal principle that if you can pray with such intensity, Krishna, please help me, please guide me, that tears come to your eyes, you're already successful. And this is the only technique we have. There is no other. There's no intellectualism, although there's certainly enough information that we can digest. But the very intense awareness that we are helpless is pervasive in this world. There's a saying from military fields, ostensibly from either World War I or World War II, that there are no atheists in foxholes. That means during an intense battle, there was an implement that soldiers carried on their backpacks, which was a tiny shovel. And if they ever got in a position where they were under fire and pinned down, they would quickly dig a divot in the ground as far as they could dig so they could get below the line of fire. And once they're in there and they're pinned down in a very precarious situation, those who were proclaimed atheists changed their mind and said, please help me. And they did this technique also quite intuitively. And so Krishna Conscious Movement teaches the same thing, except makes us aware that we're in this position all the time. And that at any moment we can turn our attention to the Supreme and ask for help. So that's the Hare Krishna mantra. Oh my Lord, oh energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. And of course, we get great guidance from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna talks about the various energies of the world, so we can resonate with his intelligence, and we can be guided by that. And we can come regularly to the consciousness that Advaita Acharya guided us to, which is to intensely pray. Yeah, you can practice mindfulness and so forth. But what's most important is to bring out this intense prayer. So on the day of Advaita Acharya's appearance day, we can remember that he was an emissary from the spiritual world, and he acted like a devotee, which he was, but he's also Mahavishnu, and he showed by example as the Acharya how to attain perfection in life and how to connect to Krishna in the spiritual world. And now we all know how to do it. I mean, we already did, but it's just a reminder by Advaita Acharya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And now we'll try the group chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, which was brought to light by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who said that from this vibration that comes from the spiritual world, the names of God, one can become cleansed. The mind, which is like a mirror, gets cleansed. We can feel ourselves escape from the material world, even as we're living in it. He described it as being in a forest fire and then having a cloud or a massive clouds come and pour water down and put out the fire. And he also said, by this chanting, we invite good fortune into our lives. He put it like this: the white lotus of good fortune unfolds from this chanting. So, would you like that? Yes. I definitely would. So let's try to chant. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki, Shri Harinam Mantra Ki, Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki, Gaur Premanande. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Imagine if you're ever in a situation where you feel that you're under attack and lost, and somebody comes to save you that you weren't expecting to come. And how do you feel? If you can think back to a time when you were in danger, and then some good Samaritan came, or a person who saw you in trouble came to you. This is the feeling of those in Krishna consciousness, who through one means or another, because Krishna's energies are diverse, Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shriyate, he can connect with us in any way, because he's everywhere. The Sri Upanishad says, Tadei jati tanai jati tadure tadvanti ke tarantarasya sarvasya taru sarvasya bhayatahad. Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but is very near as well. He's within everything, and yet he's outside of everything. So we don't go too quickly past that. We might say, wait, what? What does it all mean? It means his energies are inconceivable. They're working everywhere, within everyone, within every element of material nature. You can watch the grass grow and marvel at God's energies. You can watch the geese fly across the sky and wonder who's informing them from within the heart of how to go 2,000 miles and land in the lake they landed in last year. And we can observe within our own minds and hearts the ways in which we're being directed. And when Krishna connects to us, or we connect to Krishna, we may feel a sense of great hope in life and relief. And by taking up the process of Krishna consciousness, we experience that danger, although always present in the material world, is not scorching us. We see our recourse. We feel the lessening of the heat of the material world because we're taking shelter of the supreme shelter, as is the message in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The world is danger at every step. We need protection. That's why we have at least 36 kinds of insurance, to make sure when something inevitably breaks, we're able to pay for it and keep going somehow or other. But we're always in a tenuous situation, but that's only when we forget Krishna. And so imagine how we feel when we sense that we're being attended to by Krishna, and that he's protecting us. Then our minds might go to something very fruitful, which is to think, how can I give this to other people? This is the other lesson of Advaita Acharya, and it's a very powerful lesson because, as Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita, the best way to control the mind is to think about how to do good for other people. And now when you think about all the apps that you can get for meditation or mindfulness, or all the methodologies you have for moving the prana up through your various chakras till it gets to the top of your head, or whatever your means may be for practice, nothing surpasses bringing one's intention to service. And according to Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, the most potent kind of service is to give people a connection to Krishna, especially through knowledge. Knowledge acts like fire. Jnanagni, Krishna calls it in the Bhagavad Gita. It can burn to ashes all our troubles. If you could get all your troubles together and pile them in your backyard and just burn them all, how would you feel? Let's have a bonfire. What do you think? Just find where all of them are, put them in one place, and just start a big fire and burn them. That's what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, that the Bhagavad Gita is. Jnanagni sarvakarmanam. He says all your debts. Yeah, that's even more tangible. You got any debts? Yeah, somebody calls. Yeah, the records department, IRS, just burned down. You mean no more student loan? Yeah, that's gone. Sean Penn, the actor, who maybe you've heard of before. No? Okay. Anyway, he's famous, or was. And he was living in Malibu, California, and there was a big fire there. It burned everything down. In fact, I had a godbrother who was renting an apartment there, and he had a bicycle. And when he came back, he said the bicycle wasn't just melted, it was gone. The fire was so hot, it burned everything. It just vaporized. And so Sean Penn was on a public radio show doing an interview with Terry Gross, and she was asking him what it felt like to have lost his home. And he said, you know, all those niggling piles that you have around your house, you mean to get rid of this and get rid of that? Yeah? He said, I don't have those anymore. They're vaporized. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is like this fire. Jnanagni sarvakarmanam. All of your debts from the material world, all the stuff you did wrong. Do you ever do anything wrong and wish you hadn't done it? Or is it just me? Like 24 hours a day. He says all that stuff gets put in a pile and it just burned to the ashes. To the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. What a gift to give somebody. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, giving this gift to people is certainly the best kind of service, because people need to be able to know how to help themselves. Not just a handout at the corner, although that's nice too. We did it on Black Friday. You know, we gave out thousands of plates of prasadam to people, and it was a big hit because most people get food that's been looked at by people who are not in very good consciousness. You know, they're grouchy and they look at the food when they're cooking and then you eat it and you get grouchy. Did it ever happen to you? Or somebody's depressed and you eat their food and then you feel depressed? Or envious, or any of these things? When we eat food that's cooked by people who love God, then you start to develop love for God. You eat it and then you go dancing down the road. So we gave that out downtown San Francisco. And you could see people were hanging around, security guards, people who'd gone there to shop. And then they walked around the corner and they could hear the chanting of Hare Krishna. It was a beautiful presentation. Devotees were playing kartals, which means to keep the beat going. Living entities need a beat. It's a universal language, rhythm. So here's some rhythm. It's this Madunga. That's an incarnation of Balaram. So that sound vibration, it kind of holds people. And then it allows, as the devotees are chanting outside, the sound vibration goes within them. And then they get a hold of a Bhagavad Gita. How many Bhagavad Gitas did we distribute in one day at Black Friday? 4,000? 4,000 only. Just imagine 4,000 people. So why did we do it? Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says something that we could take advantage of. And this is what Advaita Acharya taught all of us. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that anyone who presents the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to people who are open for it becomes the most dear person to me. Does anybody here have a boss? Yeah? Do you know how to become the most dear person to your boss? It's hard to think about. You might bring him an apple or something, or her, and say, I brought you a little something, a cream pie. That might help. You might not be able to get in, though. But Krishna's not like that. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayashati taraham bhaktya paritamashnami paritapmanaha. Whoever you may be, a little kid, an old person, can't walk anymore, whatever, you can offer a leaf of flower, fruit, or water, I'll accept it. So Advaita Acharya picked the best leaf, the tulsi leaf, and he offered it to Krishna. So he's always there ready to take from us. But he says the best way to become dear to me is to think of the welfare of others. And the best welfare for others is to start this fire in people's hearts. The Gyanagni, the fire of transcendental knowledge. Ignite it. You know, in the old days when there was not electricity available and people had to keep a stove burning in their house. I lived in a cabin once where we had to keep the fire burning, otherwise it was trouble to start it. But back in the old days, you had to start over with a flint and get it going. So people, when their stoves would go out, they had these little boxes where they would go to a neighbor and beg from them one little ember or a coal that was still glowing from their fireplace. And they would transport it back and then nestle that piece of burning wood into their stove, and then the fire would start again. And this distribution of transcendental knowledge, which was advocated by Srila Advaita Acharya, is the legacy of our movement. We're following what he did. We pray, we offer some simple thing to Krishna, but with our full heart. And then we organize. He organized how to create a massive movement through which we could all join together and distribute the Jnana Agni, the fire of knowledge to people. Krishna says it's the way in which he says, the person who does this is most dear to me, more dear than anyone else. So these are formulas, simple formulas. You don't have to be a great scholar. You don't have to know Sanskrit. You don't have to change your hairstyle. You just have to change your heart. And if you pray hard, so hard that tears come from your eyes, not artificially, but out of your deep sincerity, that Krishna, please, please engage me in your service. I'm tired of being engaged otherwise. And give me the wherewithal in service to give this fire of knowledge to as many people as possible. Just this morning, we had a 3-hour meeting. When's the last time you had a 3-hour Zoom call? We had one this morning from 7 a.m. to 10, right on the dot. We started right at 7, we ended at 10. We had maybe about 10 people. And it was our beginning of the year brainstorming session, vision, mission, brainstorming for 2026 and beyond of what are our next goals for distributing knowledge. That's what keeps us up at night and wakes us up early in the morning. How to do good for others. This is what Advaita Acharya. He couldn't sleep thinking about the plight of those in the material world who didn't have the opportunity to come in contact with true knowledge. And they were The rich people were burning their money up and doing all these crazy rituals. And poor people were wasting money on intoxication and frivolous activities. And he thought, please, let me be a force in the world to reform them. So he prayed for Lord Chaitanya to come. And he helped to organize the distribution of knowledge. In fact, did you know that Advaita Acharya went door to door? How'd you like it if Mahavishnu came to your front door? Yeah. Who's at the door, honey? I think it's God. He's came knocking at our door. That's how eager the Supreme is, Supreme Personality of Godhead is. He likes to do it. And he knows the formula. If you just go out and make yourself available, even when it's cold or rainy or too hot, or you don't feel like it, hey, you're going to feel bad anyway. The material world's just like that. But if you pray, you chant, and you go out and try to give the knowledge to other people, you'll feel joyful 24 hours a day. And your thoughts will be transcendental, because what you're going to do, if you toss and turn at night right now, you'll still toss and turn. But you're going to be thinking about, how can I distribute Bhagavad Gita, not just in English, but in Arabic and in Farsi, in French and Japanese, all over the world. And if that's your preoccupation in life, you're a liberated soul. It's not hard. It's a simple process. These are heartfelt principles brought to us by Advaita Acharya, who offered to everybody. And if you live in some far-flung place, you can restart the Hare Krishna movement right from your place. All you have to do is have a Bhagavad Gita and start reading it, invite people to come over, chant a little bit, and when they get inspired, have them go out and chant for other people. And the miracle happens again and again and again. And everyone's waiting for a miracle in this world, but one has already come. It's Advaita Acharya. He showed us how to do it. So this is our mission here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. This year we had, or last year, 2025, we had great success. But we're always eager to build on that success, because our mission is to continue expanding. And wouldn't it be nice to see Krishna consciousness more prevalent all over Silicon Valley? Yes. I would like to expand to Cupertino and Woodside. I'd like to see go to Hillsborough and Atherton. And I would like to see an upsurge of Krishna consciousness go to Lafayette, Walnut Creek, and Burlingame, and Redwood City, all of San Mateo. And then keep creeping over the hills until you get to the other side in the East Bay. Now I'm going to test to see how well I know. San Ramon. Black Hawk, is it still there? It was there when I was a kid. It's where all the rich people lived. We could calculate how many doors there are in the Bay Area. In fact, we did a cursory look the other day. If you can count it, if you can measure it, you can achieve it. Why couldn't we as a group figure out how many doors there are in the greater Bay Area and then go to every one of them? Could that be achieved? Now, if we get preoccupied with that, we're following Advaita Acharya, because he thought, how can this go out to every single person in the world? What better way to do that than go to their door and just say, here, we brought you the Bhagavad Gita, and here's some prasadam. What do you think? Vicky thinks it's a good idea, because that happened to her. Woke up one day and found a Bhagavad Gita during the pandemic, the darkest days of the pandemic, when everyone was afraid to poke their nose out of the window. And she woke up one day and found the Bhagavad Gita. What else was in the bag? Cookies. Cookies and Bhagavad Gita. That's the main. That's what everyone's looking for. And so this is an invitation for everybody. We need brain we need brains. We need people who know how to do stuff. Like figure out a plan for the whole Bay Area. What if we had it pasted on the wall, the whole plan? We had it mapped out, every single neighborhood, and we said, within the next 90 days, we're going to cover this, that, and within the next 10 years, we're going to establish Krishna conscious outposts in each one of these neighborhoods. What do you think? Would anybody like to have one in their neighborhood? Would you like to have it at your house? Yeah, see, that's how easy this is, and all you have to do is what Advaita Acharya did. Pray hard, and then invite people over once a week. Give them a little prasadam, little kitri, some mango pickle, lime, not lemon, lime, and a papadum. And at the end, give them a sweet, give them a cookie at the end. And then chant Hare Krishna and read some Bhagavad Gita, and they'll be happy. And so we could cover all of the Bay Area in that way, and people become happy. That's the whole idea. And they can spread it to other people. So we're going to take 5 minutes, and what my request is if you could meet somebody that you haven't met yet and tell them your idea for following Advaita Acharya to help spread Krishna consciousness in the Bay Area. And then take a note of what that person's idea is to expand Krishna consciousness to all the neighborhoods I mentioned and all the ones I didn't mention here in the Bay Area. Would you be willing to do that? Yes. A little brainstorming session. Pick one person that you haven't met before. We do have face recognition and matching, so we know from the last several times we've done this. And if we catch you, then you'll have to wash pots afterwards. Okay. That's not a punishment, actually. It's the nicest service there is. So take 5 minutes, starting now. Just let go of first, switch off. Go to the back of your head. There's a little switch back there. Just try to find it. And turn off any sense of anxiety you have about meeting somebody. Become an AI robot, not a human. 1, 2, 3. When I say 3, flip it. 1, 2, 3, flip it. And now go meet somebody. No inhibition. Go. Hare Krishna. We'll be right back. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I think I'm already too high, right? Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Everyone now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, part of our program today. We have the Hare Krishna dance party. So we're going to pick up the asanas, we'll roll up this rug, and we're all going to move to the dance floor. The ladies can be on this side, men on that side. Keep an aisle down the middle so Prabhupada can see the deities. And please dance to your heart's content. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Sri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Girivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshakam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki. Antakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Jamuna Mai Ganga Mai Ki. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani Ki. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Gaura Premanande.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada बाहे नरसिम्हा हृदय नरसिम्हा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कमलवरे नाका अद्भुत शृङ्गार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुभृङ्गा केशवगीता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवगीता नरहरिरूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय नरहरि लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय नरहरि जय प्रहलाद महाराज भक्त प्रहलाद प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे We welcome you all to the Sunday Feast Festival here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley on such an auspicious day of Advaita Acharya's appearance day. So let's give a big round of applause to everyone who has joined us here tonight. Hari 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 Bo! We'll also like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has joined us online. So let's give them a big round of applause. Hari 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 Bo! Today's discourse and Krishna Katha and the Aarti was brought to us by His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu. So let's express our gratitude and thank him for the discourse and also an ecstatic Aarti. Hari 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 Bo! And the Narsinga Aarti was sung by Bhaktin Aradhya. Hari 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 Bo! Anyone who is coming here for the first time, yes, thank you for coming. If you have any questions or if we could be of any assistance, please reach out to me. My name is Sri Gopal Das. We'll be happy to assist you in any way we can. So let's chant one Mahamantra for all our newcomers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have few sponsors for tonight's feast. We'd like to acknowledge them. But before going to sponsors for today, last week we had His Grace Dhira Prashant Prabhu and Mataji were sponsoring on the Sindhuja's 18th birthday and she was not there. I'm wondering if she is here. Sindhuja, please come. Hari 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 Bo! And next, we'd like to have Vasuprada Mataji and Bikram Aditya Prabhu sponsoring for Vittal's birthday. So let's get ready. You'll be the next. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sindhuja. Hare Krishna. How are you doing? Okay, thank you for your parents for sponsoring on your such an auspicious occasion of 18th birthday. And thank you for being part of ISV and coming regularly here and inspiring all the youth also. So thank you. And yes, give her a big round of applause. Hari 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 Bol. Would you like to say a few words?
I think that growing up with ISV has truly been a blessing because one thing that I've really noticed is that people come and go in your life, but a community like this is so rare to find, and I think that it's one of the biggest blessings in my life that I do have it, and that I find a place with so many welcoming people to come back to so often.
And wish you all the best in your spiritual life, and now that you're going to go to college, so let's all the best for your future studies as well. Okay, Hare Krishna. Vittala, please come here. We've been waiting for your birthday for so long. I know you celebrated your birthday on Jan 14th. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you do on your birthday? I heard you threw a big party.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how old are you now?
5.
Okay, all right. And what do you like here at in the temple?
Done.
Kirtan, Haribo. And here is a Mahaprasad for you, okay? And a cow. And then we have a special cake being baked for 1 week, okay? It will be coming next week, okay? So, okay? So we'll cut the cake next week, okay? All right. Haribo. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Would you like to say a few words?
Hare Krishna. Please bless Vittala. He is so amazed each week as he comes. He wants to serve more in the kitchen. He wants to do the cleaning. He wants to do everything that each one of you do. So please bless him so that he will serve all of you, Guru and Govinda. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
And next sponsor is His Grace Achyuta Kumar Prabhu and Her Grace Divya Kumari Mataji are sponsoring on the occasion of Bhaktin Aradhya's birthday. Aradhya, please come. Here. Hari Hari Bo. And then we have a special sponsorship. Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu and Manjiri Gopika Mataji are sponsoring special feast, and we would like to know the exact reason. We'll announce that. But they are sponsoring the feast as well. So Aradhya, how old are you now?
11.
Okay. So how do you feel to be 11?
Good.
Okay. So you've been coming here in the temple for very, very long time. What is the first memory when you came to the ISV that reminds you the most? What is the first ever memory that struck you the most when you came to the ISV?
I can't remember. That's too long ago.
Okay. All right. Never mind. So what is that you like, one best thing here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley?
There's a lot of stuff, but one thing I really love is how everyone's super welcoming and inclusive, and I also love youth jam.
Okay. All right. And I know that you are a trained singer, right? You are singing. Would you like to recite one shlok or a tune of Hare Krishna Mahamantra of your liking?
Sure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
And here is a Mahaprasad and a cow. Thank you, Achyuta Kumar Prabhu and Divya Kumari Mataji for sponsoring tonight's feast. Hey, Aradhya, would you like? Oh, you already gave your speech. So, okay. And the next sponsor is Larissa Mataji is sponsoring. Is she here? Yes, please come, Mataji. And she is sponsoring in the honor of her pet dog, Princess. She left recently. Okay, yesterday. And thank you for sponsoring the feast. Would you like to say a few words? Yeah.
It's my honor to be part of this wonderful group and such a beautiful souls of Vaishnava Silicon Valley. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. And I will give you the prasad next week. We'll prepare a special, prasad, Mahaprasad for you. Okay, Hare Krishna. And yes, His Grace Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu and Manjari Gopika Mataji, where are they? Are they here? They're not here. But they are sponsoring on the occasion of Her Grace Kumari Leela Mataji's birthday. Kumari Leela Mataji. Is she there? Kumari Leela Mataji. Okay, if anyone can find her, we'll get back to her. But we have other sponsors as well. Okay, and the next sponsor is... okay, Kumari Leela Mataji, please come. We would like to announce the next sponsor. Her Grace Premakishori Mataji and Sukada Gauranga Prabhu are sponsoring tonight's feast as well. But they are, I think, busy serving. We'll thank them for their sponsorship as well. Hare Krishna. Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu and Her Grace Manjari Gopika Mataji are sponsoring tonight's feast on the occasion of your birthday, Kumari Leela Mataji. Hare Krishna. And as you know, Kumari Leela Mataji is one of our stalwart devotee here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. She is raising a beautiful Vaishnavi, and she does a lot of services. And the most of the dear service, which is pleasing to all here at ISV, is the book distribution. And she is a great dancer as well, and a lot of inspiration to the youth and all the devotees here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Thank you, Kumari Leela Mataji, for all your services. And thank you, Hare Krishna. We are so fortunate to have you here. And would you like to say a few words?
I would like to offer my most respectful obeisances to all the Vaishnavas assembled over here. I do not expect a single word, whatever the His Grace Sri Gopal Prabhu has mentioned. But I take the dust of all of you, and I pray deeply that one day I can reach to the each word that he has mentioned. Please, if you so desire, please shower your blessings if it pleases you, and if it pleases to Lordship, please pray for us that we can be humble and stay hungry for your association and serve our utmost capacity. Thank you so much.
And we'll give you the Mahaprasad next week as well, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Now we are waiting for a very important event that is coming very soon, and we would like to hear from Her Grace Hanspriya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's the most beautiful day. It's Lord Nityananda's birthday. Because do you know why? Because he's the most merciful. He even told Lord Chaitanya that forgive those Jagai and Madai, because do you know they are going to try to serve you one day. So that's why we want to be very, very excited to celebrate Lord Nityananda's birthday. Are you all excited about it? Okay, so we'll see you all on the next Friday. So please tell your boss that you are not coming in the office. Okay, we're going to be working from home, your real home. Srila Prabhupada has built it for you. So you will be all here. We will be coming together. We'll be serving together. Chant here. I know we will definitely would like to have all day chanting. So please come. Prabhupada is there. Lordships are there. Come and chant. We will have the program starting at 4:30 a.m. We will have the Mangalarti in the morning, followed by japa. We'll have nice, wonderful japa together with the deities. And then we will have amazing greeting the deities. Then we are very fortunate. You know, I know some devotees that they live where they don't have a deities. So please come together, take association of devotees in the morning hours. And if you do have to go to work, go quickly and come back quickly, because we'll start the program again here in the evening at 5 p.m. Okay, and those who can stay back, please, there's plenty of service for each of you. So come together. There's a lot of cooking happens, because we'll be feeding close to 600 to 700 devotees on a weekday. We need all the hands on deck. So if you can come forward, whatever little bit you do, it goes long ways. And Lord Nityananda is actually is the Sankarshana is in our heart, who inspires us to serve Lord Chaitanya. So please come do whatever little service you can do. And we'll have beautiful Abhishek in the evening at 6:30 p.m. and MSF offering, followed by the Aarti and Prasadam. Sri Gopal Prabhu will be sending out the detailed schedule sometime next day or two. Okay? So Lord Nityananda Ram ki jai.
Haribo. Now Bhakta Ritvik will announce tonight's cooks. Hare Krishna. Come Ritvik.
Hare Krishna. Today our head chef is Ajit Arjun Prabhu, supported by Swarna Gopika Devi Dasi, Remuna Mataji, Vikram Prabhu, Hannah Mataji, Momita Mataji, Bhavika Mataji, Mayuri Mataji, Neha Mataji, Prajakta Mataji, Amrita Mataji, Sonal Mataji, Yasheshwari Rani Devi Dasi, Prema Nitya Das, and my young Prabhu.
Now we'll go to Prasad Sevya prayers. Who is going to lead? No? Madhuri Sakhi? Okay. Hare Krishna.
Sharira Vidyaja Jodhindriya Tahika Vive Pele Vishaya Sakare Dharmade Jivayati Lova Moisudurmati Take Jita Katina Samsare Krishna Bodhotaya Moy Kori Bhadak Jivada Swaprasadhana Dilo Bhai Senamita Pau Radha Krishna Gunaga Preme Dhako Shri Chaitanya Nita Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Dhamne Vaishnave
Kalpapunyamatam Rajan Vishwasane Vijayate Prasadhe Sarva Dukkana Anirasta Vijayate Prasana Cheta Seyashu Bhuti Bhava Brahmishate Vayaka Bhutta Sarkana Vasa Ishita Bhodhi Modasat Savamaya Jayani Shushkam Parishitam Bhati Nitam Bhadura Deshata Bhakti Martina Bhaktavya Nakakala Vicharana Nadeshaniya Mastaka Nakala Niyamastaka Bhaktamanam Dutam Sheshar Bhaktavya Harinai Bhagavad Shri Prasad Ki. Please come take prasadam outside. Here you go.
You can honor Prasad here at the temple.